Namaste. Welcome to this little tutorial. This is advanced pranayama. So we'll be looking at 4 different advanced breaths here. The first one we're going to look at is known as Bhramari, or the bumblebee breath. This is a wonderful breath. It's both calming and soothing, and at the same time it's elevating and brings you into a place of joyfulness and bliss. It's also said to sweeten your throat and to make your speech more enjoyable. So enjoyable to listen to. It improves your singing voice. There's a whole host of good qualities that comes from Bhramari. But the question is, how do we do the practice? Well, quite simply, we're going to inhale, and as we do, we're going to partially close our glottis. So it sounds like we're a little bit like we're snoring. The ancients describe it as sounding like a bee drunk on the nectar of the flower, but to our modern ears, it sounds like somebody snoring. Then we inhale with this, and then when we exhale, we hum like a bird, like a bee, I mean. So let's just listen to the sound of the practice, and then we'll come into it ourselves. So we inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Wonderful. Ideally, we practice from 1 to 3 minutes, and then we just sit and feel the sensations of the breath. It really leaves you feeling uplifted, light, and happy. It's a fabulous breath. This is Bhramari. And anyone can do this breath. There's no restrictions. No matter what level of experience you have, you can do Bhramari. But it's best to cultivate your primary practices of our Kriya, which is Kapalabhati, and our balancing breath, Analoma Viloma. So those are the base pranayamas. From there, this is a next easy transition into Bhramari. Another very helpful breath that we will deal with is called Stitali. And this is a cooling breath. So if you're feeling hot, both physically, but also emotionally, you can use the cooling breath to help you down. For Stitali, we're going to inhale through our tongue. So what does that mean? Well, if your tongue can roll like this, you make a straw and you sip the air in, close, and exhale through the nose. Now, if your tongue doesn't round that way, the other option is to take your tongue, stick it behind your teeth and curl it, and breathe in through the sides. Now, the one thing you'll notice, whether it's rolled like this or like this, is that when you breathe in with your tongue, the tongue feels cool, and it actually brings a nice cooling sensation right down. And when you exhale, you feel calm and steady. So let's just practice a few breaths of Stitali. So choosing whatever works for you. Some people have a difficult time rolling their tongue like this. So do it the other way. Whichever way. Let's do some gentle breaths in and out, in through the tongue, out through the nose. Again, we want to do this breath for 3 to 5 minutes and then just sit and feel the effects. Even after a short period of time, you do notice a much more calm, cool, and soothing sensations for both the mind and the body. So that's Stitali. And just like Bhramari, there is no real restrictions. Anyone, anytime can do Stitali without any worries or complications. So these two are our easiest advanced variations. And they're a wonderful, once you've become skilled at our basics, then we move into these for diversity. But when you've been practicing a long time and you have a lot of cultivated a lot of spiritual energy and you want to go to the next level, we come to Bhatrika. Bhatrika is an advanced pranayama and it is not recommended unless you have been practicing regularly for at least 6 months to a year. And I mean regularly, I mean every day. And you want to be very, very comfortable both with Kapalabhati and with Anuloma Viloma. Now, this practice is vigorous and intense. And just like Kapalabhati, we're pumping the abdomen, but on Kapalabhati, we're just pumping the abdomen on the exhalation. With Bhatrika, we're inhaling forcefully, exhaling forcefully, inhaling forcefully, exhaling forcefully. The reason we're using this extra force is we're trying to break what's known as the grunties or the knots in our energy system, which keep the energy from flowing upwards and leading to full enlightenment. So we use Bhatrika to force the energy through. But if you have not prepared yourself properly, you can have undesirable consequences from the practice of Bhatrika, including mental disruptions in your or upsetting your mental health. So I really highly recommend you only teach Bhatrika to those students that have shown that they are ready for it. And even for yourself, the practice of Bhatrika should only come when you feel that you are strong in your personal discipline and practice, and that you've cleansed your energy and you're ready to move up through those chakras. So ideally, we're not using Bhatrika at all in our regular classes, and it's only for specialty occasions or for your personal practice. But when you're ready, there's no need to rush. You have your whole life. Yoga is a steady, stable progression. But this is just to know when you reach that point of you want to go deeper, you want to break those knots, then we use Bhatrika. So I will demonstrate. This is a powerful breath. We're just going to do it quickly here. I'm just going to lower the camera so you can see my belly. I'm just going to prop myself up here. This is a strong breath. So I'm going to have my hands here so that you can see. Normally we'd have them resting in chin mudra on our lap. We take a deep breath in. And then we begin inhaling and exhaling forcefully. Inhale. Retain the breath. Exhale. At the beginning, we only want to practice Bhatrika for about 30 seconds at a time. We don't want to overload ourselves with Bhatrika. We do 3 rounds of 30 seconds at a time, building your way up to 1 and no more than 3-minute rounds. It's very powerful, and you'll notice when you do it, you can feel lightheaded. It can have a lot of consequences. So I really prescribe caution with Bhatrika. This is why it's an advanced pranayama. I want you to know it. I want you to understand this breath. There may come a time where it is necessary for you in your practice, but this is not a breath that you will use generally when teaching the public. But I do want you to try it. Try your at least 1 round. When we're together next, I will lead us through 3 short rounds just so that people can feel the sensations. But that's Bhatrika, bellows breath. So Just practice. At first, you will definitely feel some discomfort, maybe lightheadedness. Stop the practice, wait for it to pass, and then move on again. Bhatrika. Bhatrika, bellows breath. Our last breath is Moorcha. Moorcha literally means fainting or swooning. But when we're doing this at home, I certainly don't want you to faint or swoon. The idea is to retain your breath as long as you can comfortably without straining or stressing yourself. Regular practice will make it easier, of course, for you to retain your breath longer and longer. But our focus here now is just to retain the breath as long as you can comfortably. Some people will retain their breath until they feel faint and lightheaded. I don't advise this. Again, especially if you're alone. If you faint and you fall and you knock your head on something, you can seriously injure yourself. So as soon as you start to feel any strain or discomfort, exhale, return yourself back to the present moment. Wonderful. But let's try Moorcha, extended breath retention. So we're just going to comfortably be here. Take a deep, full breath into your belly. I always find it's easiest to apply Mula Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, and Udaya Bandha during Moorcha. And just feel the breath retained. Whenever you're ready, taking a breath in, exhale out. Again, I always advise doing 3 rounds. So when we do our pranayama, we want to do a sort of a minimum of 3 rounds in the practice. Of course, I'm just showing them to you here. We're not actually doing the practice. But when we apply the practice, we do 3 rounds of the breath to feel or get acquainted with it and to feel the benefits and the effects. We will try Moorcha one more time. Remember, just going to that point where you start to feel uncomfortable, then you're going to exhale. We don't want to strain ourselves. Let's begin. Inhale, fill the belly, bring your hands into Chin Mudra. Apply root lock, apply throat lock, apply abdomen lock. Breathe, be here with breath retained. When you feel ready, take a breath in, slow breath out, and just return your breathing to normal. Just notice any changes in sensation. Again, Moorcha is an advanced breath technique, not to be offered for first-time yogis and not to be generally used in your class. I have included Moorcha, but usually when I've had a group of people that have been working consistently together for a period of time, I will include it in the practice. There are many benefits that come from its practice, but at the same time, it's something that is best done with a great deal of caution. So not really for first-time users. Again, we want people that are comfortable with both Kapalabhati and Anuloma Viloma before we move them really into any of these advanced practices. Kapalabhati and Anuloma Viloma are enough to take you as far as you ever can go in yoga, all the way to the very end. That's why they're the base, they're the stable base. But these other breath techniques just can further enhance or embellish your practice or be a shortcut to take you further faster. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and I hope that you have happy breathing. Namaste.